the moment was definitely just sitting there watching them create, because it's like they're not even thinking about it. It was just like they grab a piece of paper, they grab a pencil, and they just start drawing. There's like no thinking, there's no pause. It's like once that pencil hits the paper, it's just nonstop. And then I was like, yeah, man, are you kidding me? That's it right there. That's art. I got my art degree at Utah State back in the early 90s, and right out of college I got work as an illustrator, and was working with this art director, and I was getting these horrible gigs, very boring. I was doing maps. I was doing so many maps they even nicknamed me Mike Map for a while, which was horrible. But I finally had enough. I said, I can't do this. I made a horrible mistake going into illustration. I don't want to do this. So I moved up to Seattle, and then as I was doing that, for some reason I kind of went into stand-up comedy for about 10 years, which was really nice. But I actually even did little funny cartoons on stage. So I always kept doing art. But then back in 2001, I said, I'm going to start painting again. And my first painting, when I got back into doing art again, I set up a nice little still life in my basement, had a fork, some lines, and I grabbed my old Dynasty Kiss poster. I have 2 kids, Tanner and Kyla, and I started watching them draw. And they started drawing like these awesome monsters. And so I was just like, well, this is just too cool. So I was like, how if I took these little sketches that they're doing and blew them into like these, huge epic canvases of like one here. It's called The Monster Who Eats Monsters. And this was just a little, little pen drawing on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And so I probably did art like that for about 2 years. Like this one here, Monster Island. All the characters that were developed here were all designed by my son Tanner. And then even on this painting here, I did the background, we drew the characters, and then even before I even painted them, I asked Tanner, I said, what color should we, paint each one? And no matter what he said, that's the color that I painted it, and we're just going to see how it turns out. But then I was like, well, that's super cool. They're drawing whatever they want, and just don't even worry about it. So I was like, well, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. So I was like, well, let me go back to when I was a kid. What did I like? And I want to start painting that kind of stuff. For a while there, from when I was like 12 years old to 14 years old, I just lived, breathed Kiss every day, and I listened to it. It's all I listened to, and I used to draw it all the time. So then when I decided that I was going to go back into art, I says, well, I just really want to go back and paint images from that time where, when you were a kid, where, nothing mattered, and you just let yourself go and just had fun. And then that's why I think these images keep coming back. If you're looking for any kind of like deep meaning in my art, you're looking in the wrong place. It's just all about fun here. It's like, well, what am I gonna paint today? Let's see here. Well, I was listening to Raw Deal by Judas Priest this morning, so maybe I'll do a combination of Judas Priest and Captain America. You just never know. To communicate that idea, even as goofy as it is, simplification, I think, for my work is definitely the key. I think that comes from the stand-up comedy days when I was doing art for my show. What I learned when I was on stage, if I made something too complex, when I delivered the line and when I showed the art, the audience, they didn't get it. So it had to be simple, and it had to be quick, and it had to have these elements that they could recognize quickly, and then I would get the laugh. My process when I come up with an idea, when I start painting, actually varies a lot from painting to painting, I guess, depending on how I'm feeling. I rarely try to do anything exactly the same way twice, just for the fear of boredom. Well, my first introduction to art was when I was, well, when I was very young, because my dad actually is very artistic. He used to sketch a lot. He used to use markers. He was a 3D artist. He used to sculpt out of wood. So from the get-go, I was always, watching him, and then just kind of like picked up on what he was doing. From the age of probably 7 or 8, I always knew that I wanted to be an artist. That's what I wanted to do. Even though that wasn't going to be, maybe my day job, I always knew that I was going to do it some way or form. My art means it's fun and it has no deep meaning. It is the art of nothing.